You probably already know that AI can help you work faster and better, but the problem is many companies don't let their employees use AI because they don't trust what the AI companies will do with their data. Luckily for you, there are ways you can use generative AI like ChatGPT without giving your confidential information. And in this video, I will give you my 4 strategies on how you can use and implement AI like ChatGPT, Microsoft Copilot, Gemini, or Claude without problem with your data and without having problem at work. These are the exact strategies I taught to more than 5,000 people to enable them to use AI without having to worry about data confidentiality. Let's start with the first strategy. 1. Give your headers, but not the data. Let me show you how it works. Imagine you have just been allocated this file to analyze. It's the headcount file and you don't really know where to start. What I'm going to do is I'm going to select just the headers with the name, department, position, salary, and increase decided for 2025. Or if you want to have more precision when you're working with AI, you can also add fake data like these 2 lines where we have Mickey Mouse and Minnie. But I will show you just with the headers already the quality of the output we get from AI to help us with our work. So I'm selecting these headers. And now I am in ChatGPT where I prepared my prompt. I'm explaining my context so that I am a FP&A analyst with a headcount file. The instruction is to get top 5 analyses and how to do them in Excel. Really important, I'm explaining how the data look like in my file. I'm just now pasting the headers and I'm removing the image because we don't need the image. I just need here to show the headers. Now I'm clicking to see the results. Let's discover together. This goes really fast. Let's go back to see all of the analyses we have. We have the total and average salary by department with the instruction on how to do it. We have then the employee count by department, again suggesting a pivot table to do it. And then we have an average salary increase for 2025. And then we have also salary benchmarking, which is really interesting. Now I even have a formula that is adapted to my file. As you can see, it's saying where D is salary and B is department. And now you can even forecast your budget for 2025, again here with a suggestion on the formula. So you see, now I just need to go to my Excel file, use these formulas, and I never gave my data to ChatGPT. I just ask how to do it in my file. And with this, you can do analysis that maybe you would never have thought about, or maybe you don't know how to do it, or just simply you just want to be fast. Because here, in just a few seconds, we got a suggestion of 5 analyses. And let's be honest, even if you're really good at Excel, even if you know how to do this analysis, you will never have come up with this analysis that fast. Second strategy, you are going to request the Python code to execute the task in your own environment. Understand, here you might drop the video, you might click outside, but wait, Python now is actually available to everybody because you don't need to learn how to code. And that's what we are teaching in our course, Advanced ChatGPT for Finance. We are teaching people in 15 minutes how to use Python. Once you have learned how to use Python, you can unleash so many possibilities, and I'm going to show you one example. Imagine you want to create this graph, but you don't know how to do it, and you cannot upload your data in AI to generate this. How are you going to do? Let me show you the second strategy on how to use AI together with Python to generate this in your own environment without giving your data to AI. So here is actually how my data look like. And if you want to do this type of graph in Excel, it's quite complicated because you need conditional formatting, you need to spend a lot of time calculating the retention rate. So not the easiest task to do in Excel. That's why Python is great. So now I'm back in ChatGPT where I'm going to explain that I want the Python code for cohort analysis showing the retention percentage. So basically how long clients are staying. And the cohorts are defined by when was the first time the client joined. So which month and which year. And here we want to have the first 5 lines as an example. So I'm going in my file, I will select the first 5 lines and you can put here fake data. I'm going to paste them inside and I will delete that. So here I have the first 5 lines and now I'm sending my prompt. Okay, so we can see that we have our code that is being written by ChatGPT. And what is really cool, in green, you have the comments that explain what is the code doing. So now I just need to click copy and I will go to a tool called Google Colab, which is the Google Sheet for coding created by Google. So if you have a Google account, you can use this. If you are already using Google for your work, then you can use this because it's like using Google Sheet, but just for coding. So here I can paste the code. And what I will do is I will just add the file. So now I'm just adding the file inside Google Colab. Now this file is there. I'm just going to copy the path to replace this in the code. Now let's run the code to have our result. And here you go. We have now the same graph, but I did it in my Google environment. And if you don't use Google, but Microsoft, you can do the same with Visual Studio. Visual Studio is like Google Colab, but made by Microsoft. And this is just one example of what you can do with Python and AI. Imagine if you want to automate this on many files. Again, here you can just change the code and apply that on multiple files and generate this analysis multiple times. The third option is to use an open source LLM that you are going to download on your computer. The advantages: first, it's going to be local, means that you understand what is happening with your data and you can control. Second, is not somewhere in the cloud. So you know exactly where is the data and you know exactly the model that you're using, where it's located. And third, you can be more flexible and customize the way you are going to use it. The most popular alternative for this is something called Ollama. You can see here I am on ollama.com. Ollama allows you to run either the Llama model from Meta is Facebook, or other types of model that are open source. What you just have to do is to download it, and once you have downloaded it, then you can use it on your computer. So you can see in the top that I have Ollama activated. So now I just click on terminal and I will just paste to run the code of Ollama. So now it's launching Ollama on my computer. So the model is installed. So first you need to load the model. So now you see that everything is ready to go. And I just need now to type my message. So if I am working on something confidential, I can write it here because this data will never go outside of my computer. Let's imagine that I am working on a confidential project for a merger with Nike. I am working at Adidas. Give me 10 topics in finance I need to focus on as a CFO. Okay, that's funny. Let's try something else. This is a fake scenario. So let's imagine what we could do. Look, I get a response talking about due diligence, integration of cost. Of course, the design is less good than ChatGPT, but I can work here and I'm not giving my data outside. I never said to any other AI tools that I am going to have a merger between Adidas and Nike. And that's where you are going to avoid giving your data to any AI tools, because here it stays on your computer. And you can even use it if you are not connected with internet. The fourth option is actually to buy an enterprise license with any of the LLM available, like ChatGPT, like Copilot, like Gemini or Anthropic. Why is it something that you should consider? Because actually the first three options I showed you are really good on an individual basis if you are alone. But if you have a team and if you want them to use AI every day and use those LLMs every day, having a license is what is going to solve all of your problems. So now something I want you to understand is that data security is not new. Those tools are working the same way that what we have been using the last 15 years when cloud arrived. And at the beginning, cloud was really approached with skepticism, but now it's just normal to use it. And if you go on the website of OpenAI or Microsoft Copilot, you can read that their data standards and security standards are best practices as they use GPDR, SOC 2. If you can read, and I think if you are here, you can read, then just have a look and you can see that they are quite comprehensive. And normally your company, if you have already been using Microsoft, for example, then it's just an extension of the normal Microsoft security you are already using. So my clients, often they either go for Copilot or OpenAI Enterprise because that's the most obvious for them. I don't recommend any of them because I'm not here to recommend you something. I'm just telling you that based on the security here, they are best practice, and if you do your own analysis, then normally you should be able to see if you are allowed to use them, yes or no, and with your company to go and have a contract with some of these providers. So these are the 4 best ways to use AI with confidential data without having any problem. Now, if you're a finance professional, I recently created a video going over the top 10 AI tools. And I really want you to watch this video because that's going to help you in 2025 to be much more productive. So just click here to check that video. And if this video today is valuable, please subscribe because I'm going to do more and more of videos like this, which answer to all of our problems in finance and use AI to make ourselves better, but also our life easier.